As the friends headed for the forest, Emily tapped a hand on Quickhoof's neck whilst Aisha held Sapling's hand. Aurora's magic would keep our friendship strong, said Emily. But we must keep touching. It might get difficult at times, said Aisha. But we can do it. They passed two gnomes standing on the ladders, trying to hang panting for the opening ceremony. Curly, your end is too high, snapped one gnome. No, Hickory, your end is too low, howled Curly, who was holding the other end of the string. He yanked the panting upward, sending Hickory tumbling down to the ground. Oof, you silly gnome, Hickory scolded. I should have done this by myself. When the Lothards back, they will work as a team again, said Emily, as they entered the forest. It was as easy to see which way Grub had gone. He had left a trail of fallen trees and broken branches. This forest is our home, Sapling said tearfully, that nasty odor ruining it. He's smashing young trees and crushing ferns. What will happen to the birds and mice who live here? Emily hugged her. We will stop him, she promised. She had no idea how, but they would not give up until they did. They followed Grub's trail, scrambling over fallen branches and slipping on squash toadstools. All the time they kept touching to keep their friendship strong. Then suddenly crack, a lightning flash made them clutch each other in fright. They looked up. Selina hovered over them, grinning down at them. Sapling pressed close to Emily, who shouted, What now, Selina? The evil unicorn clapped her front hooves together, sending a shower of burning sparks to the ground. Emily and Quickhoof stamped on them. That is dangerous, Aisha yelled. You could set the forest on fire. Ha, that would stop you following Grub, laughed Selina. But I have something better than that. If you all think you are so great at sports, try tackling my obstacle course. Her laughter echoed through the treetops as she flew away. What obstacle course? Sapling asked nervously, but as they followed the narrow path around a bend, the answer was in front of them. A twisted tangle of spiky trees branches. Beneath them was a net of thick knotted vines. Fat yellow berries grew among the vines, and each one had a sharp, curved thorn on top. Clawberries, said Sapling. They grew on Selina's mountain. They'll rip your clothes if they get half a chance. It looks like we have to crawl under the net, said Emily. Be careful, everyone. They gripped onto one another tightly and scrambled under the net. Ouch, said Quickhoof as a clawberry snapped her mane. Eek, that is hard, Sapling moaned as a clawberry scratched her arm. Let us take turns holding the net up for each other with our spare hands, Emily suggested. Good idea, said Aisha. I will use my horns, said Quickhoof. They took turns, first holding the net up, then scrambling through. They had to keep touching each other and at the same time keep away from the berries' sharp claws. At last they made it. A little way ahead lay a half-fallen tree, with thick thorny weeds growing around it. Aisha went to push past it through the weeds. No, cried Sapling, pulling her back. Those weeds are itchy scratches. If you touch them, the itching will drive you wild. This must be the next obstacle then, Emily said. We will have to walk along the trunk without touching the itchy scratches, then jump off. She peered through the trees. It looked like the trunk sloped upwards. It could be quite a drop at the far end. She looked at Quickhoof. Maybe the unicorn shook her head. I cannot fly you over. Look, the tree branches are quite low, and the itchy scratches have grown up into them. Why don't we go in pairs? Aisha suggested. Sapling, you go with Emily, and then Quickhoof and I will follow. Emily held Sapling's hand and clambered on to the tree trunk. Whoa, she cried, it is wobbling. She slipped, dropping Sapling's hand. Aisha reached up and grasped Sapling's hand. Oh dear, it looked like we need to use our arms to balance. We will have to go one at a time. What about our friendship bond? Asked Quickhoof. Our spell is protecting Emily and me, said Aisha, so we will be all right. Quickhoof and Sapling, you will just have to be fast. I will go first and test it out. Aisha stepped up on the trunk, holding her arms out wide. She moved carefully as if she was on a balance beam. In gymnastics class, putting one foot directly in front of the other, she reached the end and leaped down, landing with a thud. Bend your knees when you land, she called back to the others. The ground's rock hard. Quickhoof went next. As soon as Emily took her hand off the unicorn's neck, she started grumbling. I get along much better on my own, she said, as her hooves clip-clop along the trunk. The rest of you are holding me back. As soon as the unicorn jumped down, Aisha stroked her neck. Oh no, sorry, I was rude, said Quickhoof. It's because the magic left me when I let go. We know, Aisha said gently. Emily lifted Sapling on the tree trunk, and as soon as she let go, Sapling began to moan. Don't see why I should do this. Why couldn't someone else go? Why me? She ran slightly along the trunk but stopped at the end. I am not jumping. That drop is way too high. I will catch you, Aisha promised. Sapling scowled. You dropped me. Anyway, I don't need help from you. Emily climbed up and ran along the trunk, held behind Sapling. She tried to catch Sapling's hand, but the nymph snatched it away and leapt off the tree, away from Aisha. She stumbled as she landed. Ow, my ankle, she cried. Aisha lifted her up. As soon as they touched, Sapling burst into tears. I am sorry, I was horrible. I did not mean it. We know, said Emily. It is the magic's fault. Sapling took a step and yelped. It hurts, I cannot walk. Poor Sapling, said Aisha. She put an arm around the nymph to support her. Emily did the same, and she looked at Aisha over Sapling's head and said quietly, Now what do we do?